So since buying the Sony ZV-1 and owning the Sony a6400, I've been on the lookout for the ultimate portable gimbal to use with either of those cameras. Now Moza has just sent us the new Mini P to try out, so we're going to test it out in this video. Hey there, I'm Mark Brown from Editor's Keys and welcome to the video. Now, if you're new to the channel and you're into filmmaking or editing, consider subscribing to the channel because we have a ton of videos all about that. Now, in today's video, we've actually been sent this by Moza. So they're letting us do a review of this. We're not getting paid for this, so all of our opinions will be honest and true, but they did send this in. So we just wanted to be upfront about this. Now we're taking a look at this and we're going to try it out with the Sony ZV-1 and more importantly, the Sony a6400 to see how this gimbal can handle it. Now I'm going to go through some of the specs of the Mini P. It can actually take a maximum payload of 900 grams. Now this is kind of like a touchy area for us because we use the Sony a6400 with a kit lens and a Sigma 16mm lens, and we just weighed it. The Sigma and Sony combo weighs 912 grams. So will the Moza Mini P be able to handle it? Ooh, we'll take a look. But it will certainly be able to work with the kit lens and the Sony ZV-1. So let's just get straight into it. Let's look at some test footage. So there you go, that's some of our sample footage, and to be honest, we've been really impressed with this gimbal. For the price, I mean, it's quite a budget gimbal, but it worked perfectly with the Sony ZV-1, and it even worked with the Sony a6400 and the Sigma 16mm lens, and that's a lens that I know a lot of creators use, so it's good to know it works with all of our equipment. The gimbal, as I've mentioned before, it's quite lightweight. It comes with its little tripod. It's fairly easy to balance, and it also has a few more tricks up its sleeve. So in addition to all of the modes you can control from the gimbal itself, it also has a really cool iPhone app too. Now this iPhone app allows you to control the gimbal. It has some balancing features which is really cool. So let me show you a few of those now. So we're going to go into remote control. Simply press the remote control button, and then you've got a full mini controller, a bit like a Super Nintendo controller or something like that. So you can tilt this up and down, you can control the roll axes as well, and you can see it works really well, and it works by how much you pull it across as well. So if you do a tiny amount, you can see that the camera will move very slightly. If I move it fast, it will move fast on here. So it's really nice. You've got that granular control directly from an iPhone app. You can also press record from here, you can zoom in and out from here. You've got full access to your camera's control if you pair it up with Bluetooth. The next thing you've got gimbal settings, so you can actually go in and adjust the motor. And what I like about this, compared to some other gimbals I've used, is that you kind of have to test out your camera, test out the motor settings, and just through trial and error work out what is the best motor setting for you. But what you can do, you can press the automatic tuning, and when I do that, you can see it's going to shake the camera about here, and it's going to do an auto tuning process. So it's kind of semi-balancing the camera's motors for the best experience, and that's really great because you don't get that in a lot of gimbals that I've seen. So having that just means you'll get much more steadier shots when you take the gimbal out on the road. And there we go, it's done. You've also got a few creative video controls on here. So you've got a motion time lapse. You can do a track recording. So if you leave this on a desk somewhere, you can have it track your subject. So maybe you're filming yourself on your own. You can have the gimbal set to focus and track you, which is pretty cool. There's a variable speed time lapse, object tracking, and a fixed point time lapse. So this is really good if you want to get some of those city shots. So what's nice about this gimbal, like many other gimbals, is that you have full control from the gimbal itself. So you can control your modes like you'll have seen before. You've got follow, pan follow, even modes like inception mode, and that's one we've been playing around and really enjoying using. But not many gimbals have a vlogging mode, and this one does. So if you're filming yourself, usually with your gimbal, this would be facing forward. But what about if you want to talk to camera for a second? Well, all you need to do is triple press the trigger here, and you'll see the camera spins around. So you can do a piece to camera, you can be walking around vlogging to camera, and then simply double tap and it will go back to forward facing. So that's really cool. If you are a person that films on your own, or you want to use it for travel vlogging, this is great. You don't need a second person with you to be filming yourself. You can just triple press that trigger and you can do a piece to camera, spin it back round, and you can be facing the road or walking down that famous street. So that's really nice to see. And as I've mentioned again, for travel, this is a pretty lightweight gimbal, so it's not going to take up much room in your bag. It's not too heavy, and the results coming out of it are pretty good. So a lot of us creators these days are filming vertical videos, and for some gimbals this is something you just cannot do. So what I like here, they've made it quite easy to switch from a 16:9 to a vertical video very, very easily. All you need to do is just simply twist this little thing here at the back, and then you can essentially remove your entire camera, which is great if you just want to take this off for handheld shots as well. But then you can slide the camera back down for filming in portrait mode. So that's pretty cool. So if you are someone that does TikTok or a lot of Instagram stories, this is great. You can be filming in 16:9, which is your usual sort of horizontal way of filming. You can take the camera off within a second and then just put it into this new portrait mode. And you don't get that on a lot of gimbals, so it's nice to see they have this here. So there we go, that's our look at the Moza Mini P. And overall, I'm really impressed with this gimbal. It's lightweight, it's cheap, and the videos coming out of this gimbal are really, really good. I think if it's your first time maybe purchasing a gimbal, this is certainly one to look at because it has all of the features that you need. If you want to do those inception shots, if you want to do portrait and landscape video, if you want to vlog, this can do all of that. And some gimbals out there maybe have like 50% of those features. So, there are better build qualities out there. Some of the other gimbals we've reviewed on the channel are built from full metal, but they maybe are 2 or 3 times the price. So again, for a budget travel gimbal, I think this is really up there. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check it out. And if you've got any questions at all, make sure you leave them below. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.